So let's talk about sentences for a moment, shall we? Remember that a sentence is the smallest unit of complete thought in a piece of writing. And when I say complete thought, I mean that a sentence contains both who is doing something and what they are doing. The fancy name for that is the subject and the predicate. If a sentence does not have both a subject and a predicate, or who is doing the action and what the action is that they are doing, then that sentence is called a fragment, oddly enough. In order to have complete sentences, you must make sure that your sentence both contains the subject, usually a noun, for example, a dog, and what that person or thing is doing, called the predicate. It's usually a verb. Barking, for example. You can have two-word sentences. Dogs bark is a perfectly legitimate sentence. It contains both a subject, dogs, and what the dog is doing, the predicate, barking. When you have added complexity into your writing, that's when things get a little bit more difficult. For example, if you begin attempting to make a more complex sentence and you combine several sentences together, it's called a run-on sentence. We want to have just one complete thought in every sentence, one complete set of a subject and a predicate. If you combine those together too many in inappropriate ways, you get a run-on sentence. Run-on sentences are easily fixed, usually by either breaking apart the two sentences you've got, by using punctuation, putting in periods and breaking into two different sentences, or by adding conjunctions is the other way of fixing run-on sentences. So far the two problems you can have with your sentences are run-ons, in which you have more than one complete ideas jammed in together, and fragments, in which you have less than a complete idea. You've broken that sentence up into parts that are too small and are just referring to either a subject or a predicate or a verb, without having that complete thought. When you're writing, you want to shake things up and have some variety in the things that you're doing. You want to make sure that you do not use the subject and the predicate in the same order all the time. Dogs barked, the cat jumped, the cow cried, and why the cow was crying I really have no idea. Instead, change the order of your sentences. Use conjunctions to make a more complex sentence. Combine together several sentences, and add in some subordinate clauses. Clauses that are related to the other ideas that you have in the sentence, but all still relate to that one same main idea. As you are working with your responses to this lecturette, try to see what some of your favorite sentences are, and think about what kind of problems you see in your own writing with your sentences. How do you ever struggle with sentences? Do you ever, when you're writing, have a problem identifying fragments or run-ons? Thank you very much for your time. This has been a great section.